Well, coming up on the next instalment of the new Road to Glory series, I've travelled all the way up to Loughton and Essex to the Dennis and Dyer Boxing Academy to speak to three Quest Boxing League champions, Ronnie Chisholm, Lily Finch and Liam Dyer, who all appear in massive clashes on the high stakes promotion on Saturday, September the 10th. So I'm going to head inside and I'm going to be finding out how the training's been going and what we can expect on the September the 10th show. Well, Ronnie, we caught a little bit of a glimpse there of you doing some bag workout. I know you've been hard in training for this massive showdown. It's the main event on Saturday, September the 10th at the Epsom Downs Racecourse in Surrey against Ami Rahman. So I know that preparations are, they're not just well underway. They're they're in full swing. But let's speak about this fight. Let's chat about your last performance and what lies ahead on September the 10th. So. First and foremost, how have you been since that fantastic fight against Ryan Kavanagh?
Yeah, all good. Just ticking by, spending time with the family, working hard. Now back in the gym, ready for the tough fight ahead of me against my good friend Ami Rahman. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great fight, great show. I'm looking forward to putting on another great performance for everyone at Quest, like I always do.
Well, I was going to say, I don't thinking back to your debut against Chesney Hawkins, obviously the subsequent fight with Mide Degbe when you won the British middleweight title, you had a little bit of a setback against Chesney Hawkins in the rematch when you lost your British title. But then I've got to say, when you come back from a defeat like that, sometimes a fighter is never quite the same. But you came back, you dropped down to light middleweight. And you faced Ryan Kavanagh in what was an absolute barnstormer of a fight to win the national light middleweight title. So you must be on a bit of a high right now as you head into this fight.
Yeah. Obviously, it was a bit of a downer losing the British title to Chesney, but unfortunately these things happen. Setbacks are made for great comebacks, and as we see that against Ryan Kavanagh, I took the fight to him. And just took control of the fight really. So I'm looking forward to being back on the main stage, back as the main event again. And looking forward to being the British champion again, once again at a second weight class as well. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Can't wait. Like I say, it's the best versus the best, champion versus champion. May the best man win. We'll see.
Well, I've already spoken to Ami Rahman in the build-up to this fight, and we'll go on and we'll talk about that. But as I said to Ami, as fights go, when you look at the pair of you, what both of you have done in the competition. This is, for me, this is a super fight. This is a mega fight. This is two recognised champions in the competition who have earned their stripes, who have won national titles, who have won British titles, who are now meeting in this this huge, colossal showdown.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
And it's mouth-watering, and it's exciting to because you could see this fight playing out so many different ways, but. Let's rewind a little bit. So when I went and chatted to Rahman, obviously he was in preparations 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the first thing I'll say is, Ami Rahman, he's always confident. He backs it up in the ring. Like
confident, not cocky. He said, didn't he?
Confident, not cocky.
I see it
but very similar to yourself. The only fight that he has lost was a stoppage in a title contest a number of years ago, but since then he's he's bounced back and he's won national titles, he's won British titles. But when you watch that video as the opponent, obviously you guys know each other outside of the ring. You were even sitting quite close to each other on tables at the May show. But when you were watching that, what were you thinking?
There was a couple comments that he said. Obviously, he says he's confident, not cocky. You come across cocky, I'm afraid. Everyone says you come across cocky, but it's good to feel confident, I suppose, if that's what he says. Well, it was a comment. He knows I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win, but I don't know you're going to win. I'm not getting in the ring to lose. I'm not getting in that ring to lose. I'm coming in there to cause a major upset and stop Ami Rahman, or maybe completely outboxing for the whole show. Whichever way it goes, I'm happy to take it. But yeah, other than that, I watched it. Obviously, he is a friend of mine. We busted a little bit of banter together. We spoke a few times. When we first found out about the fight, he gave me a phone call. We spoke on the phone. Yeah, we're both just looking forward to going out there and putting on a good performance, a good show. And like I said before, let the best man win. Obviously, he thinks he's going to win. I think I'm going to win. We'll see on the night.
these types of fights, I have to say, as not as a promoter or not as sort of just as a fan, just as purely as a boxing fan, you get that kind of feeling in the pit of your stomach where you know something special is about to happen. You know that you've got two fighters who, you know, without question believe that when they step through those ropes, they've got the answers, they've got the firepower, they've got the tools, whatever it is, you know, they've got the confidence that they know that they can see how they execute that game plan. They know that they can win this fight. So if you were, let's look at Rahman for starters. I mean, obviously, in previous fights, we've seen the devastating power. You know, we saw the power against Ollie Bennett when he won the national title. We saw the power again when he won the British title against Conor Cartwright. But equally with yourself, you know, we've seen that power against Mide Degbe, stopping a man who everybody thought was coming into that contest as the favourite, and you completely ripped up the script. So
never underestimate me. I'll point that little message out there. Never underestimate Ronnie Chisholm. I'm full of surprises.
Absolutely, and even then, if we go back to the Kavanagh last time out, the Kavanagh fight, you know, that was an absolute toe-to-toe war. I mean, he took some shots. It was entertaining. I mean, he was
strong boy.
I mean, I can remember watching the fight from ringside and thinking, this is brutal. You know, something's got to give in this fight because you can't stand up to that type of punishment. And I know that he was tough and he was competitive, and you know there were stanzas in the fight where he was sort of having success, but then you would come back, and it was just one of those fights which you didn't know which round it was in because it was just such a great fight to watch. So
good.
You know, and I know those are the fights you want to be in. But
what did you talk about?
Of course, nobody wants to be remembered as a champion, but you can't remember the performances. You want to be remembered as the fighter that you go, "Oh, what about that fight?" Which is what you and Rahman have both done in this competition. So, you know, all things aside, I know you're confident, but looking at Ami Rahman, he does have power. You know, he says he hasn't shown his best boxing ability, but you know, when you rate him against opponents that you've already faced in your career, and the opponents in Quest, how do you see him? Where does he stack up?
That's a really good question, actually. I don't personally. I know he's a former rival of mine, but Chesney Hawkins, I don't think he's the better boxer. He's been the better boxer out of all my opponents. He was a seasoned pro. I think he absolutely has a better boxing skill than Ami Rahman. Power, obviously I don't know Ami's. I haven't really seen. I've seen him. I've seen a little bit of his power, but I haven't obviously felt it as of yet. But from what I've seen, I think Kavanagh has a really strong punch. From what I felt when I was in there from Kavanagh, he caught me with a good couple shots. So I'd say Ami's probably in between them. I don't really want to say because obviously you don't know until the night. So I could sit there and say he might be on the bottom of my list, and then I'll come fight him. Next thing he becomes top of my list. But from what I've seen, I don't really think I've not got too many worries, to be honest. I think it's going to be an interesting showdown, and I'm just going to stick to my boxing ability and just cause a frustration of a show like I always do.
Rahman's talked about in the past, you know, you've never quite seen the best of his boxing ability. He feels like he's never been able to show that, and he feels that coming into this fight, when he spoke in an interview, you're going to be the person that's going to bring the best out in him, and he's going to be able to showcase his boxing ability. And whether he said, you know, he said I predict a devastating knockout, but you know, do you think he's got the boxing ability to outbox you? No,
just straight up no. I don't think he's got the boxing ability. Yeah, he's got power, but like I say, I will find out what that power was like on the night. I don't think he's a better boxer than me at all. Like I say, I respect him, I respect his power, but that's as far as it goes. The better boxing, I say, will probably come from me. That's all I've got to say about that question, to be honest. I just think I'm a better boxer, and that's it, really.
With his confidence, you know, sometimes as a fighter, you'll question, you go, why is he so confident? You know, it's just like, it can start to put doubts in your mind.
Fights.
But yeah, of course.
Fights.
But do you really genuinely think that, you know, after watching your fight against Kavanagh, after watching your performance against Degbe, the first performance against Hawkins,
even the second one, I thought I still done well with that.
Yeah, I mean, do you really think that when Rahman's saying that it's a devastating knockout, you know that he's going to win? Do you think that's bravado, or do you just think that he's trying to build confidence in himself?
Bit both. I think he probably is trying to build confidence in himself, because I think deep down really he's unsure. He knows he's stepping up to the plate, coming up against a great fighter, myself, and not to give himself a big head. But yeah, no, he knows he's coming out against a great fighter. He's got to make himself confident. He's got to build himself up, give himself the confidence. I guarantee that's probably what he's doing. And then at the same time, he's trying to sell a fight. Like me and him did say we was going to try and sell the fight together and that. Obviously, I've been a bit busy with work and training. He's been busy with obviously probably work and training himself, so we've hardly had the time to do so. So he's gone about his own way, posting up, showing his muscles and that. But like I was stating to you the other day, muscles don't win fights. Muscles don't win fights, and we'll see if your muscles help you on the night.
You can't put muscles on a chin.
You definitely can't.
No. I mean, this is, as I say, we could talk about this fight. We could talk about your previous performances. We could talk about, you know, how this fight could ultimately play out. But, you know, I think when we look at September the 10th as a main event, you know, they don't come much bigger than this in terms of the anticipation of a champion versus champion, of the confidence that both of you are exuding. You know, everybody's talking about this fight. Everybody's saying, what a fantastic fight to make. What a great fight this is going to be. Yeah. And that's what a show needs. To be a massive event, you need a massive main event. And this is definitely up there with the biggest that we've ever staged. So, you know, I know it's not that long to go until September the 10th, and I know that your trainings is
a month now, yeah.
Just over a month. So, so for yourself, what's the plan for the next sort of couple of weeks as you sort of head towards this?
Keep training. I'm not giving too much away. Just keep training, keep sparring hard, keep listening to what the team over there have got to say, and yeah, just go out there and do the job done. I've got all my faith in the team, so that's what I'm going to do. Just keep training, do as I'm told, and see you fight night. Yeah. See you fight night, Ami. I
was going to say to you, you're going to look into this camera now. I know that as soon as this video goes up on socials, he's going to be watching it. He's going to be listening. So, you know, what have you got to say to Ami Rahman?
Stop the showboating with your muscles, because the muscles ain't going to help you. Love you to bits, mate. Think it's going to be a great fight, but make the best man win on the night. I'm not coming to lose, so keep that in the back of your mind when he's not coming to lose and he's coming really, really fast.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic fight. And as I say, this is the main event you do not want to miss. Ronnie Chisholm, he's already captured the British title up at middleweight. He's captured the national title at light middleweight. And he faces British welterweight champion, who's now moves up to light middleweight in a showdown for the champion versus champion British light middleweight title. Ronnie, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to let you get back to doing what you do best, training.
Thank you.
And we will see you there at the Epsom Downs Racecourse, Saturday, September the 10th.